A long time ago, I think about if my wife have some dangerous situation, I may die for her.
For the Roman.
I put yes.
For whom?
Samantha.
Yeah.
Recorded.
Okay, let's move to question 2. And Shepherd Isaac.
Oh, what day did this event take place? 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed. Passover.
Yeah. So the first day of unleavened bread is the Passover. In Gospel John, Friday was the preparation day, and in here, Thursday night, right? This Passover is Thursday night. So there's a different, they call it 2 different calendar. Got it? Jesus had a Passover meal Thursday night. So this is the Passover. But according to Gospel John, when Jesus was arrested, the Jews didn't want to, go into the Roman governor's palace because they want to remain clean. And they said they wanted to eat the Passover meal. So here it is, Passover meal. They want to eat the Passover meal. So Friday night. So what's a really Passover? There are many theories explaining this. Was it really Thursday night Passover or Friday night Passover? According to Gospel Mark, Luke, this was Passover. Gospel John, this was Passover. So one good explanation is the Jewish calendar from sunset, 6 p.m. From sunset to sunset is 1 day. Sunset to sunset is 1 day. So this is 1 day. The Roman calendar is sunrise to sunrise 1 day. So Friday from sunrise 6 a.m. to here is 1 day. So if they use Roman calendar, Passover is this Friday. But if you use Jewish Hebrew calendar, then this is Friday. Got it? That's the one way explain. Another way explain is after the Jews return from the captivity, exile, they couldn't get 2 days day off. Because, they have a job. So if a Passover and another holiday overlap, like a Sabbath, Passover, and overlap, instead of a separate day off, they cannot get day off like that. So they put it together. So celebrate together on this day. But Jesus used original calendar. That's another way explaining it. So that's no big problem. Okay, second question, Shepherd Roman.
Whom did Jesus ask to prepare the Passover meal? From verse 22, verse 8. He sent Peter and John, saying, "Go and prepare the Passover for us, that we may eat it."
Yeah, Peter and John. And Sister Judy.
What question did Peter and John ask Jesus? Where do you want us to prepare for him?
Yeah, where do you want us to prepare for it? Next, Shepherd Isaac.
Where did the pilgrim prepare their Passover meal?
Uh, the Passover celebration, people who live in Jerusalem, who have their houses in Jerusalem, gave their offering for free to the pilgrims. Their house structure is, downstairs and an upper room, and have a door. And the downstairs family use it. Family use it. The upper room, they have their separate entrance, and then usually guests use it, the upper room. And usually rabbi visit, and then rabbi comes with his disciples and let them use it. Like especially Passover, all Jerusalem residents gave their upper room to the pilgrims for free. Okay, next question.
What was Jesus' instruction? 10 to 12. Behold, when you have entered the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him into the house he enters, and tell the master of the house, the teacher says to you, where is the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?
Yeah, that's the instruction Jesus gave to Peter and John. And next, this is Judy.
Why didn't Jesus just give the address of the house?
Let's keep that in mind. Why Jesus just didn't give you the address of the house? Okay. Next question, Jeopardizer.
Who did the disciples have to meet first? 10. He replied, as you enter the city, a man carried a jar of water will meet you.
Yeah.
A man carried a jar.
Yeah. You enter the city means enter the city of Jerusalem, and you will meet a man carrying a jar of water. And Shepherd Roman. Why?
Why was a man carrying a jar of water? A clear clue to the disciples. Because that's what Jesus said.
Woman's job.
Woman's job. Yeah. A woman carry jar of water. So man carrying a jar of water is a very, very clear clue. There might have been just one man in the whole city of Jerusalem carrying a jar of water. It's like a man carrying a woman parasol in the street, very clear. Okay, next question.
When they met such a man, what should the disciples do next? And follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, the teacher asks, where is the guest room, where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? He will show you a large room upstairs, well furnished, where the tribulation started.
Yeah. Just follow the man and enter the house and meet the owner and talk to the owner. Where is the room that teacher may have the Passover meal? You know, it sounds like easy, but it's not easy really. Because when they meet the man, oh, I'm so glad I met you, you know, and then start to talk blah, 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 you know. But just follow him and talk to the owner. Okay, next question.
What was the result result when they obeyed the words of Jesus? 13. They left and found the thing just as Jesus had told them. So they prepared the Passover.
Yeah, it just happened. It just happened. And they found the house. They found their room. They're gonna celebrate the Passover. It was just like amazing. Okay, next question.
When they,
How?
how did the homeowner prepare the upper room for Jesus? He prepared with the upper room with being furnished.
Right. It was all ready. You know, probably the table was there, and they said the furnished is the English translation. They said they lean when they eat the lean, so the couch was all spread and probably covered with a sheet, so it's all ready to use. The some translation is couch spread, so all ready. All right, next question.
What else did the disciples have to prepare for the Passover celebration?
Now they found the room, but what else did they have to prepare for the Passover meal? Right, food. They take the lamb, and the lamb they take to the temple. And in the temple, the lamb will be killed, shed the blood, and they bring the lamb to this upper room and roast the lamb. Roast the lamb. And Peter herb. Peter herb is to remember bitterness when they were slaves in Egypt, how bitter they were, and unleavened bread, and wine, and 4 cups. For the Passover meal, they have to drink 4 cups of wine. So all these Peter and John prepared. Okay, next question.
Um,
Who knew this place? Jesus.
Only 3 people,
Only Jesus.
Peter,
John.
Peter and John. Next question.
had Judas known this place, what could he have done? He could prepare a trap over 7 people there.
Right. Had Judas known this place, he would go to the temple leaders. I know where he is. He is in such a place. But it was kept a secret from Judas. He didn't know. Okay. Next question.
What actually happened because Judas did not know this place?
Judas.
So they had a Passover meal.
Right. Okay. Had Judas known this place, he would have reported to the temple leaders, and then they will arrest Jesus, and Jesus wouldn't be able to celebrate the Passover meal. Okay, the ending there. But because Judas didn't know this place, Peter and John prepared, and then evening came. Jesus and all the disciples came, all the disciples, and plus Judas. Judas had to come to find where Jesus is. And then they had the Passover meal. Either in the middle of the meal or at the end of the meal, Judas left. Judas left to report. Judas left to report to the temple leaders. When Judas arrived, temple leaders had to gather soldiers. It took time. They gathered the soldiers. Probably Judas brought them to the upper room. But Jesus already left. So Judas, where could he go? Oh, Mountain of Olives, Gethsemane. Because they said Judah knew the place Jesus often went there to pray. So Jesus was arrested. So because Jesus kept it secret, the upper room address, Jesus could have Passover meal, and he could have a prayer time at the Gethsemane. For this reason, many scholars think Jesus had prearranged with his owner, but he didn't tell the address. And then and Jesus said, "You will meet a man carrying with a jar." And Judas heard it. He cannot figure out where the place is. And then Passover is that night. I mean, every pilgrims already got the places, and then Jesus might have arranged with this upper room owner. Probably he is Jesus' follower, arranged like that. But this is Jesus' wisdom. He just cannot, speak, cannot just, he didn't do that. He planned. He didn't want to be arrested before Passover meal. He eagerly wanted to have a Passover meal. And he also secured his prayer time. It's really God's wisdom to manage it every day, to manage it the most. Yes. Okay, question 4.
What was the position of eating the Passover meal? 14. When the hour came, Jesus and his disciples, apostles, reclined at the table.
Yeah, reclined. Real Passover, when they had Exodus, they stood up and then they ate while standing. But now, when they eat Passover meal, they recline. Next question.
Why did Jesus eagerly desire to eat this Passover meal? I have earnestly desired to eat this meal with you before I suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to rush so that he can prepare for his suffering.
Yeah. Eager. Peter said, I have been eager, really wanted to eat this Passover meal with you. Probably this was the last meal. And Jesus established a new covenant. Last fellowship with his disciples, eating fellowship, and Jesus established a new covenant. Okay, next question.
When will Jesus eat again? For I tell you, I will not eat again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God.
And verse 30.
Study so that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So he will drink and eat again in my kingdom. So I thought it heavenly kingdom, but some interpretation is like when Jesus established earthly kingdom, means millennium, eat and drink again. So I don't know, but what is exactly, but Jesus will eat again in my kingdom, in his kingdom. Okay, next question.
What did Jesus do with the cup? 17. After taking the cup, he gave thanks and said, Take this and divide it among you. For I will tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay.
What does
take this and divide it among you mean? Share.
Yeah. The cup, when we have a communion, we have a small individual cup, right? In Jesus' time, and has one big cup. And then they turn around. Yeah, they have give a next person. And then, in our time, people carry all kinds of disease in their saliva, but even herpes in the mouth and the lips, Oh, but Jesus' time, maybe people were more clean. And they shared the one cup. They all go around the 13
Because they didn't know the importance of hygiene.
I saw one of the documentaries that area is they took one plate that all town people came in the one plate.
Yeah.
And then they eat.
Yeah.
Especially when the guests come, they eat like one with the hands.
Yeah, I had the invitation from the young people from Morocco, They had one huge pan in the middle, and then That's ancient style. Yeah. You know, this is when I prepare. This was really hit my mind. Take this and divide it among you. So this is the cup. Now Jesus said he gave the cup. Take this. And you know the cup is he meant his blood, right? Meant his blood. Take this, accept it. And divide it among you. Divide it among you. Share it. Share it. And Jesus giving his life blood and that strong love, you know, share it among you. This is the fellowship. Fellowship. Receive Jesus' blood and share it with others. This is community. Community. And then we heard Sister Rebecca had a job, and everybody praising God and thank you and blessing, and everybody saying something, you know. It's a sharing among us. Nowadays, there are lonely Christians. You know, they said they love Jesus. They believe in Jesus. I have no sharing. No, here, cut up here, no sharing. And they said they are lonely, terribly lonely. What's wrong with that? Hmm? So more and more I meet such Christians. They don't have any fellowship, no fellowship, lonely Christian. But look at Jesus said, take this, and they finish here. Take this. They receive Jesus' love, Jesus' blood, and that's it. Jesus said, divide it among you, share among you. So, I mean, when we went to Chicago, somebody, my sister's church, gave us $300. She didn't know us. We never seen her, but she was sharing Cosmo. And then another woman, she bought us lunch. And then after us, you know, the 16 people from Korea, she also bought the lunch for dinner. And then the reason is because they are Christian. They're Christians, she bought it. So Jesus said, receive and divide among you, so that his love, we may have a fellowship of his love. So, you know, lonely Christians must listen what Jesus is saying. Fellowship. Fellowship with Jesus, fellowship with others. Okay, next question.
What
did Jesus do with bread? From verse 19, and he took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Given for you. Do this in remembrance of me."
Yeah. So, Sister Judy, next question.
What does it mean? This is my body. Jesus will die on the cross.
Right, yeah. He's offering his life on the cross. His death on the cross is a sacrifice. For our sins. So, Jesus saying to the disciples, I will sacrifice my body, my life for your sins. Okay, next question.
Why do we need to remember the body of Jesus?
So, do this in remembrance of me. So, why we need to remember?
Just the sacrifice body of the cross for our sins. Remember.
Because we forget. Because we forget easily or we forget all the time. And so when we forget, we become selfish. Now we remain in human standard. You give me one, I give you one. You give me two, I give you two. Become selfish. Remain human standard. But he just said, do this and remember me that I gave you my life, my body, my blood. Okay, question 5.
Jesus took the cup. What was inside of the cup? From Matthew 23:26.
The same. Matthew, Mark is the same. The same,
26:28.
Uh-huh.
It says, "For this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins."
Yeah. So Luke, Jesus just gave the cup, but Jesus said, this is my blood of covenant, which is poured out for the forgiveness of many. Okay, next question.
When did Jesus give the new covenant? In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." On the cross.
Oh, after the supper, so the meal was over. After the supper. So Jesus observed the Passover according to the old covenant. Now, Jesus gave the new covenant. So, all the Passover meal. All the Passover meal. And bitter herb, unleavened bread. Here, and this is the old covenant. Covenant. Jesus said, now new covenant. new covenant is bread. It is established with bread and cup, new covenant. This is new meal with his body and with his blood. So this will be new covenant. Okay, next.
What?
Yeah. Because I didn't want to.
So what is the new covenant? Okay.
What is what is the new covenant?
The new covenant, this is new covenant, Jesus' body and blood. Next question.
What was the old covenant? The Mosaic one.
You're right. Sacrifice of animals. Sacrifice, Moses' law. This is new covenant. And so, here, all the covenant is over. New covenant started. And Jesus said, he will not eat again Passover. He will not drink again Passover meal because new covenant started. Next question.
Did the disciples understand the painful heart of Jesus? The dispute also arose among them as to which of them was considered to be greatest. So, no.
They didn't understand. They didn't understand Jesus' heart at all. Okay, so in the new covenant, we don't need the temple, we don't need the lamb. We need whoever believes Jesus on the cross, his death, through his death, all my sins have been paid off. His blood purified me clean. So we don't need to circumcision. We have a circumcision. We don't need anything. New covenant. New Exodus. Okay, question 6.
So what should we remember when we take bread and drink in communion? We should remember Jesus' sacrificial love.
Right, yeah. When we take bread and drink in communion, even that moment, remember Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for me. Mhm. So we should have a moment to remember divine love, God's love. God came into this world and died for my sins. Okay, next question.
What does communion mean? Communion means being together with Christ and with others.
Yeah, fellowship. Communion means fellowship. Fellowship with God and fellowship with other believers. And so, you know, really, really lonely Christians need to think about this. Just, I believe God alone. You know. So Jesus wants us fellowship. Even the last moment, his death, he want a fellowship with his disciples. Fellowship. Okay, next question.
How can we have a real communion with Jesus? Remember he was
Yeah.
sacrificed on the
Mhm,
cross.
mhm.
And,
Jesus said,
sure.
you know, take this, take the bread, take the cup, take my blood. So we have to accept, we have to accept Jesus' sacrifice in our heart. Uh, we have to keep our sin. We have to give our sin to Jesus and accept his forgiveness. We have to best fellowship with Jesus. As real fellowship. Jesus gave his body, blood as a gift for our salvation. And we need to receive it. People are crying because of sin. People are fighting, yelling, hurting each other, threatening each other because of sin. They need to receive Jesus. They need to receive Jesus' forgiveness. And Jesus sacrificed his blood. That's fellowship Jesus wants. That fellowship. So people have a sin and just keep it in the heart. The person is not receiving Jesus' sacrifice. I must give my sin to Jesus on the cross. Somebody gave me a gift, very, very expensive, you know. It's a red ginseng extract in a bottle like that. And I heard later on $400 at least. And I received it, I put in the refrigerator for like 10 years. And I opened it finally, it all dried up. You know, so I had to throw away. Precious gift. Jesus gave his body, his blood, his life for sinners. We must receive it. Jesus said, take this cup, take this bread, receive it. He's giving to sinners. So we have to really exchange with my sin. Receive it. That's true communion, true fellowship with Jesus. Okay. So we have a fellowship with Jesus when we receive blessing and we get so down when we have trouble. True fellowship, true communion with Jesus is to receive his body, his blood, his sacrifice on the cross. And God's love fill our heart. Love of God will fill our heart. We can understand God came into this world and died for me. That love spread and fill our heart. Okay, today's Bible study is up to here.